Greetings. Welcome. Good morning, good day, good evening. Welcome to our Nail Freedom and Flow practice session that will help you lead positive change in all areas of your life through authentic generative inquiry and embodied awareness practices. My name is Anissa Wilhelmstetter. I'm a creativity and creative change coach and the founder of Creative Change Coaching. I'm also delighted to be here today as your practice partner and facilitator. Nail Freedom and Flow is one of my signature resources designed to promote personal transformation. And when used in any one area of your life, you will benefit in all areas of your life, whether it is in work, in energy, which I use to refer to health, healing, well being, to relationships, so love, all relationships, including relationship with yourself, and learning, whether that's a formal course of study or just learning whatever we need to learn for self mastery. I would like to share my screen with you. There we go. Again, our session is called Nail Freedom and Flow. I like to see NAIL, which is the acronym I will share with you, and that is the core practice in this course of practice. It's a framework, NAIL. I like to see it as a Swiss Army knife, meaning that it is multifunctional, that whether you go to the N or the A or the I or the L or any combination of it, and for any amount of time, and you can make it your own, that it will help you to meet any challenge. Core to every single part of this tool, so all the tools that make it up. So if it was a Swiss Army knife, each blade at its core is inquiry. And you will see why that is important. Viktor Frankl stated that between the stimulus and a response is a space. And in that space is our power and our freedom. Between the stimulus and a response. So whatever is happening between that, or what we take in, and how we respond, there is always a space. A space where we are free and we have the power to choose our attitude, no matter what, good, bad, indifferent. So nail freedom and flow. You don't need to write anything. You will find a lot of this information in the integral community chat, or you can take a screenshot. The N is notice and note. The A is accept and allow. The I is inquire into interest. The L is let go and let love. For me, the L of nail also represents a true commitment to celebration. And I also like to say it's about liberation, the core value. And after the liberation, we let liberty ring. So we can live our liberated life. We can love, learn, laugh. And yes. So as you make yourself comfortable now, I've brought the tool and you will become familiar with it during the course of this session. If you need anything to drink, make sure you have that. Something to write with, something to write on, always close at hand. Oh yeah, my little chisel. You don't need to bring it. The idea, it's just a reminder that, like Michelangelo's statue of David, we are to chip away of what gets in the way of us manifesting our full potential, the sense of well-being and prospering in our lives, in all areas of our lives. And then lastly, it's just about making yourself comfortable so you can journal. You can close your eyes if you wish at any point, and that you can feel a sense of groundedness and with a bit of a relaxed mindset, even though we are here to do heroic work. So, the inquiry, what is it about? Asking questions. We ask questions so we can connect with the sage within us, so we can know the truth for ourselves, so we are more self determined rather than controlled by programming, nature, nurture, socialization, or social contagion, etc. So that we can bring in this place of power, in this place of freedom, the spaciousness Viktor Frankl talks about in his book, Man's Search for Meaning Too. We can make or offer a creative response, one that is authentic, one that is generative, and then we do it from a place of embodied awareness, where we're aware of ourselves and our needs and what we want, rather than engaging in self-defeating habits. So I've shared with you the NAIL. So where is the inquiry? When we meet any situation, whether we already are calling it an obstacle or an opportunity, we ask ourselves 5 fundamental questions. The one is, what do I need to notice? And we will get to practice that during the session. I will guide you through it, so you don't need to memorize anything. What do I need to notice? So right now, take a moment to arrive in this space. Let's take 3 breaths together. So you can exhale, and you can inhale. And you can exhale more fully. And you can notice that you can now inhale more deeply. And you can feel that sense of relief when you exhale, and allow your muscles to relax. Allow yourself to go with it. And when you inhale, you can inhale deep into the diaphragm. And during the course of the session, you can take pause now and again to notice your breathing. And that when you inhale and exhale, you can feel the rise and fall of your chest. So the 5 fundamental questions are, what do I need to notice? What do I need to accept? As you are here now, feel this question. What do I need? And what do I need to let go of? To be fully present, to be the sage rather than the saboteur, to be here to offer creative response rather than be reactive, letting my past make my choices for me, telling me what to think and feel and how to see myself. And then what do I need to love? And that is an interesting question. And you will start realizing what that means as we go through the session. So now we come to our first practice. Everyone has arrived in the room, and we're going to do our introductions in a little bit of an idiosyncratic way as practice rather than just going through the motions. So we've arrived, we've settled ourselves a little, we've got a little bit of context. So what I'm offering is we usually would give our name and where we're calling from. So there's a third element I want us to interject or introduce, and that's a feeling component. And this is the embodied awareness. When we're asking ourselves questions, we're also looking into what do I need? For example, when we are reactive, when we're acting from conditioned behavior, it is about a need that is being unmet and a need we're trying to meet, albeit in an unhealthy, unhelpful way, often even harmful way, that doesn't even get our needs met. In fact, it does the opposite. So when we can learn to give ourselves permission to feel, we can offer a creative response because we're more aware of our own needs, and we have this intention to take care of our own needs in the moment, no matter what is going on or isn't going on, is happening, isn't happening. So therefore, introducing ourselves with feeling, the third part. Here in this session, what are you giving yourself permission to feel? What are you free to feel? And this is how it goes. I will model it for you. My name is Elisa. I live in the Netherlands. And right now I am feeling free to feel joyful, successful, and I would add connected, just whole. So you can reference any intention or aspiration. And so we're going to do this as we go around. So thank you for your practice. The idea of awareness and embodied awareness, more specifically, is that it leads to liberation, that freedom and flow. So we're freeing ourselves from those things that keep us stuck in the past or in animal mind or reactive. And so we can go into the creative flow of life to just live and live well. Gandhi said, your beliefs become your thoughts become your words become your actions become your habits become your character becomes your destiny. There are consequences, fateful consequences of our thoughts, of our beliefs, our words. And that is what Gandhi is emphasizing in those wise words. So you have it here, the beliefs become thoughts, become words, become actions. When we have certain thoughts and words, these drive our behavior, they provoke certain habits. And these habits, what we repeatedly do, becomes who we are, our character. And our character decides our choices, and so becomes our destiny, the fate that we are living. Talking about loops, while we do this work, when we meet a situation, we have certain beliefs about things, what they should be or shouldn't be, and we react. So these are the thoughts we bring. But these provoke an emotional reaction, these feelings, and we tend to numb it or push it away or ignore it. and even be hard on ourselves for feeling it. And that provokes more of the same thoughts. It perpetuates the cycle, and we create a feedback loop. And those thoughts exacerbate those feelings, and so on. And we go into this downward spiral. And then that is the place from which our choices are made, from this trance unconscious state. And that drives our destiny into the ditch. So this is what we want to take charge of. So there are fateful consequences of our beliefs that grow into words, into thoughts, that grow into actions, that perpetuate and become habits, that become who we are and how we show up. And that becomes our destiny. There's a phrase that we use in appreciative inquiry, where it's a framework of, or science even, about the nature of the questions we ask, because this is about inquiry. We want to be aware that the questions we ask will create the world we live in. So our questions have fateful consequences. Inquiry is nested like you have these Russian dolls, the babushkas, or stacking dolls. In a question, there is another question, and I will demonstrate, and you will get to experience that during the session. And before we get to our practice, this is to just set some kind of context. I'm currently on a positive intelligence course. It resonates with me because it just gives deeper insight and shows the science behind these practices that we are engaging in and that I'm sharing with you, this framework. And the science is showing that these are three things we want to do. So this is from positive psychology. And positive intelligence is a term coined by Shirzad Chamine. The book is called Positive Intelligence as well, so you can look that up. There are three things we are going to be doing today. We are strengthening the self-command muscle. So our capacity to step into that space, be aware of it, and just self-mastery, take charge. So we are not reactive. And then we want to surpass the saboteur, those socialization, that social contagion, wherever these things come from, where we go into that animal mind, into scarcity mode, where we're reactive and judgmental. These things that the way we get into our own way, right? By not accepting things for what they are, and that's something we will talk about a little bit more in our discussion. And then the third thing is we are practicing to repeatedly shift into the sage mode or sage perspective, to see things clearly so that we are free, that we own our power, we own our freedom, and we can actualize our potential. So studies have shown, or research, and the source of these is multiple research, and you can find it if you did look it's in the book Positive Intelligence. Teams perform when they practice this using a tool like this and these skills. Teams perform 31% better. Salespeople sell 37% more. We live 10 years longer. We are 3 times more creative and much happier. So you have inquiry, insight, and we will inquire, we will receive insight, and then we want to put them into action. And that's what we're going to practice now. So whatever's happening, the invitation is pause, practice awareness, choose the sage perspective, and then see the situation not as an obstacle, but as an opportunity. That grievance, let it be a gift. And then before we get really into our practice, in positive intelligence, they call this PQ reps, this kind of thing where we sat and we were breathing. And this 10 seconds, so when you breathe 3 times, generally, unless you're using a different structure of breathing in your practice. So 10 seconds is more or less 3 breaths like we did. And that boost, when they do MRI scans, it shows that certain parts of the brain light up and those muscles become stronger and one becomes better able to do this work. Now we're going to do something called the 3 gifts. So you've got your journal. And we're going to use this for transformation. So what is the invitation? This is it. And I will mind the time. There's my timer. So please look at a situation in your life that you are judging. So that's the saboteur, the judge, as a grievance. So when we call something a grievance, that's a judgment. It's not an honest appraisal. It's not saying this is what this is. It's taking it personally. So we're calling it a grievance. We're calling it a problem. But in the terms of taking it personally as a problem, this is a problem for me. Like it's about me. It shouldn't be happening in that sense. Not like a math problem to be solved. And we're seeing it as an obstacle, that it's preventing, that it's compromising our needs being met, that it's taking something from us, that it shouldn't be happening. It shouldn't be happening to me. It's happening to me because I'm like this, or I did that, I'm being punished. So what if you can generate a list of reframes where you can entertain the possibility of how that situation might be seen to be a gift, an opportunity, a present. And as you settle in to do your journaling, think of, just connect, and I will guide you here and there. So we will journal for about 5 minutes because I want to interject or introduce some kind of facilitation or guidance where I will introduce the notice, the accept, the inquire, the let go, and the love. So let's do that now, and I'm going to set the timer for 5 minutes. And during this session, I will also introduce some what they call PQ reps. So you can start already. There we go. Yeah. So as I ask you or invite you to think of a situation in your life, something coming up during the course of today. It might be you need to go to the shops, and obviously it's COVID times. Maybe you're going to drive, walk, take a bike, use public transport. Bring that to mind when that's going to be, or you've got work to get to, some phone call to make, some appointment. Maybe you need to cook, work out, have some conversation with somebody, do some reading, get to a certain practice, whatever that is. Choose one that, well, you tend to get stuck in, that you're aware that there's a lot of judgment. something reasonably difficult. I mean, we're not talking about something mega here, just something like similar to the example I offered. So write that down. And as you're writing down, let my voice be an ambient sound in the background. What are you noticing? You can even close your eyes for this part if that will help. What are you noticing when you think of that thing that's coming up? Write that thing down now. And then you can close your eyes again or have them half masked, whatever you want, or open. So I'm going to write my work out for after this session. It doesn't even necessarily have to be totally problematic. It's just you have some resistance and you have this push-pull experience and maybe some self-doubt or some expectation that something might get in the way or something. So ask yourself, what do I need to notice? So this is the first part of this practice, and then we'll work on the gift. So when asked to look at this as a gift, you can notice your experience, your reaction in a conversation. So what do I need to notice? You don't need to journal for this part. What do I need to accept? And pay attention for a moment to how you feel. So the question to ask of yourself and answer for yourself. What do I need to notice? And you can now notice your feelings. So this is the inquiry. We're taking the inquiry to the inquiry, like those nested dolls. So now, what do I need to notice about my inner experience? Those feelings. What do I need to accept? Can we accept these feelings? All the full range, the excitement, the anger, the this, the that, whatever it is. And you can also pay attention to your body now. And the question here is, you might notice a thought, a belief, an assumption, an expectation. You might notice senses and sensations. You might even notice distractions in your environment or something, or other memories coming up, or other thoughts. You can notice and accept all of this without fighting it. Just let it be. And we can notice how we are reacting on a visceral level in our experience, in our body, to those thoughts, those judgments, those expectations, or anything else that's happening or isn't happening now. So this is the inquiry. How does it feel in your body? Feel into those muscles. So that's the 5 minutes of getting in. And I will continue a little and then we'll do 5 minutes journaling. This is a little bit of improv, bear with me. What do I need to let go of? So we need to let go of that. That was said a bit, right? It wasn't perfect. And we can let go of that judgment. We can let go of whatever. And we can let in some lightness, some playfulness, some joy, that no matter what is or isn't happening, should or shouldn't be happening, we can still take care of our own needs. So what do you need right now? To inquire into your interests. And then just take a brief moment to make an agreement with yourself. So this is the friendliness we bring to it. A willingness to take care of our own needs no matter what. So you can exhale. Okay, and now let's do it. 5 minutes. We're going to journal together on. There we go. This situation coming up, or even you can work on the one right now that you're here doing this. Maybe you have grievances about it. How is it a gift? Three ways, three gifts. If you find yourself distracted at any point, you can notice that distraction, judgment, peace, daydreaming. And you can also notice anything pleasurable, of course, that comes up and accept that it's there and just let it be. And then return to your anchor, return to your breath. Focus on the rise and fall of your chest. You can notice contact points where you're resting against a surface, or your hands are resting on your lap if they are, or your feet on the ground if they are. Then you can continue with your journaling. Three gifts instead of grievances. So any grievance that comes up, rephrase it as a gift. And if more come up, just keep writing. Be generative. This is the innovation. And remember, with an openness, a curiosity, an interest. So that is like the explorer mode. And with empathy and compassion for your hopes and your frustrations. So we've got 48 seconds left. Yeah, and you can notice contact points. You can return to your anchor. Notice and note any judgment, any pleasure, any sense of release to slowly shift your attention. So notice any shifts as you do this, as you move your thinking from grievance to gift, obstacle to opportunity, problem to present. So focus on that shift. Good. 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So thank you for your practice. And now if this is a recording, if you're using it as a guided facilitation session, you can pause the recording to have a conversation. So some of the guidance I gave you was notice feelings you might be experiencing. See if you can name the feeling. Accept it is there as it is for now. And you can do this right now as well. Inquire in whatever you're feeling, where it is in your body. Again, inquire into how it feels. So where it feels and how it feels. And this helps you explore it in the body with interest. And then we inquire into what thoughts there are that go with these feelings. So when I think that thought, does it cause this feeling? And then you notice when you start thinking that thought of gift, how are the feelings shifting? And this helps you notice the thoughts and even notate them. So for now, you don't need to try to let go, right? But you can let go if there's anything that's getting in the way of having this experience. And you can just notice how letting go might be happening for you. It may or may not be happening for you right now. As far as you are noticing, it all depends on how you're relating to it. So whatever is happening, if you relate to it in a more relaxed way, with a more into that spaciousness, with a willingness to feel the freedom and power, you have one experience compared to if you're resisting it. So before we talk, we have our saboteurs and we have the sage. When we're in judgment mode, it's the motivation, we motivate ourselves through negative emotions, aversion, avoiding things, or it's about prevention, preventing a problem, or it's about attack. So we feel fear, stress, anger, guilt, shame, and insecurity. When we go into this more centered space, we're in sage perspective, and it's about attraction. We're moving towards what we want. We're moving towards prosperity, to wellness, to well-being, to connection. There's more motivation through positive emotion, empathy, curiosity, passion, purpose, creativity. There was a case in the book. We won't go into it now. So I want to thank you for journaling with me, and we will return to the main screen so we can share our experiences. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And here we are. So in the live session, this is where I have a conversation and practice partners get an opportunity to share their experiences, if not their specific grievances, and how they reframed it into a gift. So we get to talk about what it's like doing the exercise and different parts of it, and any questions we can look at. And again, if this is a recording or you're doing it with others, this is where you can have that conversation. So again, thank you for your practice, and until next time, may you stay well, may you stay safe, and may